me why! Is this really what you want? Albus!
Drop it, Shulk! Nothing's gonna get through to him! He's a heartless machine!
We have to try!
Fascinating. Is this how badly you wish to erase us? My god.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed is the final entry in the Klaus saga of the Xenoblade series. It got shadow dropped by Nintendo a week before its release on the 25th of April 2023. In the trailer we saw the grand reveal of our two favourite boys, Shulk and Rex. We saw Matthew, Alvis, but not as hot. And Shulk Jr. and Pyre Jr. They look the same. The hot Alvis was still there, thank fuck, as the new big bad. The game would take place in a whole new region that was not in the base game. It's been a year. I probably should have talked about it earlier, but I'm finally going to talk about it now. So I'm going to start with a summary of the story. The game opens up to a scene of our favourite little blonde British boy and our favourite little race car boy, Shulk and Rex, fighting the hot version of Alvis. Wait a minute. Is that Zed? The fuck is he doing there? Bro thinks he's on the team. They lose to Alvis and it cuts away to a shot of Ionios. We then see Matthew and the less hot Alvis, sadly, running away from those things you find in Origin. As A and Matthew are resting up, we see a flashback to the city being destroyed. We find out that Matthew's grandfather was killed by N, and he entrusts the future of the city to Matthew. After the destruction of the city, Matthew and his sister, Niall, are separated. They wake up the next morning to the signal of a survivor from the city, but unfortunately, because Matthew was a sleepy little bollocks, they were too late. While they were continuing through the woods, the ground began to shake and rumble because Kevin and Agnes were in a fight nearby. Both sides nearly got completely wiped out, except for two soldiers, Glimmer and Nicole. Nicole being from Kevis and Glimmer from Agnes. Matthew, being Matthew, doesn't want to let them keep fighting, so he rushes in and stops them. He then turns them into Ouroboros using his gloves, because he's just like a portable Ouroboros stone, I guess. Since the battle was over, Mobius shows up, and they try to kill Matthew and A for disturbing and ruining their little bet. A takes them down in a really badass way, stabs them from behind, and jumps between the two furnaces and cuts the flame clocks just like that. Even after they've been separated though, Glimmer is still trying to fucking kill Nicole.
Stop
Poor guy.
running, you coward! Phenomenal.
There we go. What I tell you, one of us should have watched them.
Matthew stops them, and then they have a bite to eat. During the night, Glimmer runs away and hopes to return to an Agnan colony. They wake up and find her gone, even though A saw her last night and didn't fucking stop her. While Glimmer is running away, she runs into a group called the Liberators, who are being led by, you guessed it, the blonde British boy Shulk. But now he's old, and depressed, and is missing a arm from the fight with Alvis at the start of the game. They take her in, but in the evening she knocks out the guards blocking her, and she tries to call an Agian colony.
You're kidding.
When the colony arrives, the consul is like, "You're fucking useless," and tries to kill her. Matthew, A, and Nicole arrive just in time to help Shulk fight off the consul. The Mobius then fuses the two Phronuses together, and is about to kill Glimmer when Rex arrives.
I like your attitude, kiddo. Huh? Leave it to Uncle Rex. I'll show him a thing or three.
Oh yeah, this is peak Xenoblade. Rex is still just a giant fucking goofball, and I'm so glad. The Weight of Life finally gets its third use, and it's perfect, with Rex destroying one Phronus, Shulk the other, and Matthew killing the consul all at once. Amazing scene. I wish the Weight of Life got more uses though. Shulk and Rex then guide the gang back to their base of operations, the original Colony 9 from Xenoblade 1. They're given a tour of Colony 9 and they're given a tent to stay in, as the buildings in Colony 9 are too old now to be safely used. We are informed that a squad has gone missing near Reguel Lake. You know, the one from Xenoblade 1 in Bionis Leg. Matthew then spots a band belonging to Niall in the group of things that the squad to go and look for them had come back with. And after seeing that band, he immediately wants to set out to Reguel Lake. So they head off to investigate, and they find out that the entire squad was just wiped. Womp womp. We are given a surprise visit by Niall, or should we say, Alpha. Niall has become the avatar of Alpha after finding his core on the shore of a beach in Erythia. They have to fight Niall as they're struggling against her. N appears to go after Niall, but Matthew ends up fighting him because of him killing Grandad in the city. N then reveals his face to Matthew, showing that he's actually his great-grandfather. So N ended up killing his own kid during the thing in the city, but oh well. N and Alpha fight, and they both end up leaving because neither side can win. Or Alpha realizes that his emotions are too strong compared to hers. The group then return to Colony 9. When at Colony 9, Rex and Shulk then tell Matthew about the origin of the world, about Klaus, Bionis, all the rest, and how they fuse together, origin, all that stuff. Then after that, they set out for Origin to stop Alpha. They have to climb to the top of Prison Island from Xenoblade 1, which is on top of a mountain. Once they get up there, they must fight N one more time. N reveals that he was ordered to kill the city by Zed, so that Alpha could be stopped and, more importantly for him, so Mio could be saved. Matthew calls him an idiot and gives him a one fucking punch straight to the jaw. For some reason it shocks A, even though they did way worse to him in the fight before. One chain attack is enough to obliterate you. Oh yeah. Ooh, oh no, he punched him in the face. Ooh. Alpha then appears and sucks everyone into Origin's memory in the heart of it, called the Ark. They bring them to a memory of Klaus's world, the original world before it was split in two. They begin to hear piano, and they find Niall, and they reveal the truth about the world and what happens in Alpha, and bring her to her senses. They then begin to fight Alvis or Alpha, whichever you want to call him. Halfway through the fight, Alvis becomes this giant mech thing. I don't know. It's a Xeno game. I'm not surprised that it's kind of mechy, weird end fight. Then, using the power of the Sword of the End from N, they unleash the power of Ouroboros using the power of the... Wait, holy... No way. Fucking Numa was there the entire fucking time and didn't even notice. They then all fuse into a big Ouroboros and give Alpha the end treatment. And yeah, they one-shot him with a single punch. However, now that the gang have taken out Alpha, a new avatar is needed to keep Origin running and slow down the Annihilation events in the hopes that one day someone will free the world from Mobius's wrath. So Shulk, Rex, and A take on the role of the avatar. But just before Shulk and Rex go, they give their life force to Glimmer and Nicole, because they're their kids. They then walk off into the light, and the rest of the gang is teleported out of Origin. Matthew is ready to scrap again with N, but N's like, you don't have the energy to fight me, dude. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's true. So then we cut forward a bit in time to the start of the new city, the one where we see it in Xenoblade 3. Matthew is leaving and going on his own journey, so the gang send him off, and Riku was the fourth fucking founder, not the fourth, the seventh founder. Like, what?
Hey, Nightowl, Nicole, Glimmer, Panacea, Linka. Oh, and you, Riku.
Why Riku
I thought it was A the entire time I was playing the game, and then it's just fucking Riku, because why wouldn't it be? Riku's everything. Riku was there when the fucking dinosaurs were roaming the earth. But anyway, Matthew walks off and the game ends. Future Redeemed differs from the base game in many ways. Ouroboros forms in combat are completely removed. There's no Ouroboros orders, no Ouroboros forms, there's none of that. And they've been replaced with something called the Unity attack, which is charged up by doing fusion arts, inflicting break, and stuff like that. However, each character can be paired with everyone. So like if you want Shulk and Rex, sure. You want Matthew and Nicole, cool beans. A and Glimmer, can do. Shulk and Glimmer, can do. You can do whichever one you want. In chain attacks though, Unity orders function similarly to Ouroboros orders, so like when you select it, it'll bring everyone back in the chain attack. And you have to get the two pairs that you've picked. Unlike Xenoblade 3, where every character can be any class you want, every character is locked to their class. So Matthew will always be an attacker, A will always be a healer, Shulk will always be a defender. So every character has set master arts as well. Combining different arts with master arts in the menus give different effects, such as if you combine this art with that one, it might inflict break, even though none of them actually have break. Each character has their own skill tree, which you use to unlock more master arts and skills. To unlock these things, you need something called AP. AP then is gathered using this new affinity point system. By doing tasks out in the overworld, like such as completing quests, you gain AP. This is my favorite system in any Xenoblade game, and probably any game ever. The way it mixes leveling up your characters with doing things such as exploring, looting, and killing enemies is perfect. I wish this was put into a longer Xenoblade game, because it's probably the most addicting and satisfying gameplay loop they've had yet. Things such as opening a chest, gathering items for the Collectopedia, and filling out the Enemypedia make everything feel connected and enjoyable, because you're gaining AP to level up your characters while doing so. Characters now, they have the ability to change the effect of their orders in chain attacks, using these items you can find. They can do things in your orders, such as increase the damage ratio by 100% or recharge the gauge. As you could imagine, this is extremely overpowered, and it's fucking beautiful. You can get like 2000% on your damage ratio on chain attacks if you utilize this well. Tip: when you beat the game and you unlock Niall and you're doing like the super bosses and stuff, put the recharge on Niall, because she's not like other heroes in the base game where it recharges your it doesn't take any of your gauge charge. She takes it, so put the recharge one on her. I'd recommend it, or at least on somebody. When it comes to gameplay, Shulk and Rex are like complete opposites. When it comes to this game's combat, they did Shulk very dirty, and he's pretty ass, to be honest. An evasion tank with no evasion arts, it's not a surprise really. Rex, however, was done so beautifully, and he's probably the most broken character in the series history. He can instantly recharge double spinning edge with crits, and he does insane critical damage, and he can basically reach a crit rate of 100%, so you can just keep spamming double spinning edge over and over and over again, do some insane damage. As a hardcore Rex fan, this makes me extremely happy. Future Redeemed takes place in an Ionios thousands of years before the main game takes place. The Cent Omnia region is completely new, and it was not present in the base game. It's mainly a mix of Bionis Leg, Tantal, Prison Island, and Valak Mountain. Unlike the base game, where sometimes, not saying all the time, like some things like Uriah, the Gormott Fin, and Mythic Meadows are very easy to spot, but a lot of stuff in Xenoblade 3 can sometimes be a bit trickier to notice the reference. Future Redeemed shoves these references in your face, and some areas are basically just remixed from 1 and 2. Not that I'm complaining, I like them. Rex even mentions how the ruins are from Tantal. So, yeah, it's pretty direct with its references. Also, I called it when the trailer revealing the release date came out, that it was going to be in Tantal. I made a Reddit post about it, and someone was like, no, those are just the things from Gormott or whatever. So, to that one guy, There are some new areas too that I can't quite pinpoint where they come from though, like the Vermilion Woods and Aurora Shelf. While there are some references in Aurora Shelf, like to Future Connected, which is a surprise, they aren't as heavy as the later areas in the game, which are just super obvious. But each area in this game was a blast to explore and was extremely fresh and nostalgic at the exact same time. Then when you're exploring around the world, you can find these things you can make, such as like a zipline or a ladder, or this thing called an ether mast. Masts help reveal information on your map to help you find things like the location of ether channels, things you can build, things like that. Colony 9 has become the main town of the game, and it works really well now that the buildings are all decayed and broken. It makes it seem sad, but it also gives hope, knowing that it's where a hero rose from once before in a previous game. So I think it works that way. But most importantly about the world design is that the DLC has a good snow area. Thank fuck. After Capricorn Peak, I had really lost all faith in their snow areas, but Future Redeemed brought it back. It brought it back. We're chilling. Overall, I have extremely positive opinions on Future Redeemed. It was a fantastic conclusion to my favorite video game series of all time. I'm so glad it didn't disappoint me, because that would have just been a very dissatisfying ending and really would have left a sour taste in my mouth. The two returning characters were handled perfectly. Shulk being a depressed middle-aged dad was pretty funny. He's not really feeling it anymore, guys. And Rex still being a goofy goober was all I could ask for as a Rex fan. However, one of my gripes is that Glimmer and Nickel felt as if they didn't have much of a story significance, and it was more just like, hey guys, look, look, look. This is Shulk's kid, and this is Rex's kid. Like him. And my only other gripe then was, in the game, they didn't really mention any other previous characters. The only one I can think of is Gramps, when Rex said that Gramps clung to him, stuck to him like glue. I know they do mention Melia and Nia, but they already popped up in Xenoblade 3, so that's not a surprise. But they literally showed footage of Pyra and Mithra and Nia and all the rest of them. Like, they showed footage of previous characters, but they couldn't name them. I found that very weird. Like, for example, when Linka comes up to Rex and is like, she looks just like them. Why can't they say she looks just like Pyra and Mithra, or she just looks like Pyra? Instead, she just goes, looks like him. And then when Rex is fighting Alpha, he's like, if only those two were here. Okay, this could mean Logos and Numa, or this could mean Pyra and Mithra. We don't actually know. I was so hyped to at least have some named. Like, Shulk doesn't mention Dunban's name when he's talking to Rex about it. Like, that does kind of bother me. But otherwise, I found it to be a perfect culmination, gameplay, story-wise, of everything Monolith has made so far. I'm looking extremely forward to seeing what Monolith will do with Xenoblade in the future, now that the Klaus saga has ended. Will it still kind of reference these previous characters, or will it be a whole new universe, whole new setting, or will it be based off this world that was made in the end of Future Redeemed? I'm excited. I really think this could go either way, and it really has me looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry if it sounded like it was just me reading, because this is my first time doing a scripted video. Hopefully I'll get better with it over time. Goodbye.
You actually did see it coming, didn't you? All that's happened.
Right. And all that will.
The only thing I see is what the flow encompasses. But your hope lives on. That much is certain.